We thoughtfully changed to this location today to kind of signify the end of the rev up and the beginning of what's going to be training camp, the large bulk of team development. Guys were energized in this environment. We got to get used to making plays in this environment. So we're excited to be here. We look forward to getting the fans out tomorrow and being able to work in front of those guys. But we're doing normal and usual things, man. We're just going to continue to snap that ball, and it gives us an opportunity to grow and learn, to teach, to gain some insight and some football intellect based on the circumstances that we're putting the guys in. We are competing, we are evaluating, but at this early juncture, we're still obviously very much in teaching and learning and development. But it's time's going to get short really quickly, man. We'll be in Canton, Ohio soon enough, and so we're respectful of that as well. Had a number of guys that missed some work for a variety of minor reasons, most of which we've been talking about. I gave Ben the day off for personal reasons. He's been excused by me. We look forward to getting him back tomorrow. Other guys that are working their way back, getting back to us, and so we'd expect those guys to be back in a short number of days. Questions?
Ben, Mike, first day tomorrow with pads and the crowd, you're going to do a lot of your popular usual drills? Yeah, we're going to do what we do and get a chance to get to know them, to sharpen the iron on the iron, just elements of real football, They really start to reveal themselves when you get in real football-like conditions, and that's what tomorrow signifies for us. Packs on back?
Yeah, sure. You want to do it?
No, I'm out.
Okay.
Do you think players are excited as you are to get the...
They are, man. They're competitors, man. You feel the energy out here, man. These guys been playing football all their lives, man, and it's a very normal thing for them. They're excited about it. They've trained for a long time to put themselves in this position, so it's like the first day of school, There is that level of excitement.
Like there was a pass down here right in front of you. I think it was something in Claypool.
Yeah.
It looked like they were fighting for about 5 minutes. And you reacted pretty emphatically to that. Can you say what you saw and what you were coaching there?
I just like the energy and effort. We cannot take the energy and effort for granted. Everybody wants a good day. Everybody wants a good and competitive environment. But it requires all of us to be actively engaged in the creation of that. And so those guys right there were creating that, competing the way that they did for that play. And, we all want to be a part of a good environment. We're all responsible for being active participants in the building of it. And so I just want to highlight that.
How did it end?
Incomplete. Incomplete.
Kevin said today that every time Fryer makes a catch, you say nice catch, but can you block?
Yeah, I'm going to play my role.
Right.
I'm going to be consistent. I promise you that. So don't ask me anything glowing about him. Those of you that know me, it's too early in the process to get that from me.
How do you like his response when you say that to him?
I'm not surprised by it, man. He's a Penn State kid, regional dude. I got a very good relationship with Coach Franklin. Went to his pro day, got a lot of exposure. I don't think any of us are surprised by what we're seeing from him.
Having said that, who especially are you excited to see in the pads tomorrow? Which of the
All of them. All of them. I knew you were going to ask me how I feel or something. All of them.
Like you, I'm consistent.
All of them. Yep.
Mike, what do you like about Millette that you've seen or why you brought him in?
He's got a reputation of being a rough and tumble teamer and a versatile defender. And I just think, guys that show that level of versatility in two phases, you better have an interest in. And he's displaying that out here. Obviously, tomorrow will be a big day, and the subsequent days after we step in the stadiums and stuff like that. But that's what his resume tells us, and he's exemplifying that.
Mike, do you expect to see banner or shoots on team drills before the Hall of Fame game?
You very well may, certainly.
Mike, it sounds like Fredo's kind of brought a new edge, maybe new swag to the tight end room. Ebron said their nickname's a bunch of badasses. I mean, what did you like about hiring Fredo in that process? Was that part of why you brought him in?
I've known Alfredo Roberts a long time, man. He's the type of football personality that I was talking about. We all want a good, high-energy, detailed environment, but we all got responsibilities in terms of creating it. He's really consistent in terms of the energy and detail that he brings to the work, and it adds to us. And I knew that because I've known him a long time, and I think it's showing.
Guys, real quick, if we can have you move over into the 2 M's and the 3 OAs, please. Thank you.
Have you
What
seen
do you
more
think about-
commitment to blocking, or you got to see that with the pad from the tight ends?
Like, seriously, we've been in helmets. We'll see, won't we?
Anyone else?
We do know better than to ask you about rope. We learned that a long time ago.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, however, I'm going to ask you because...
As you start to, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but you said when the depth chart came out and Najee Harris #1, you said because he should be there, and then you mentioned Kendrick Green the other day. Yeah, you can put him as a starter because. So has your attitude changed at all in that regard with rookies?
No.
No.
Anyone else?
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Hi everybody, I'm Missi Matthews. Welcome to Training Camp Wrap-Up presented by the UPMC Health Plan. Bob Labriola is standing by to recap Coach Tomlin's press conference with me and also talk about his excitement for tomorrow. As Coach Tomlin just said, as you heard, Labs, the pads go on, fans are in the stands. Are you going to be an energy bringer tomorrow?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally. Everybody has a hand in it, according to Coach Tomlin.
I certainly hope the players bring a little bit more energy than me. It's it's going to be very interesting, Missy, to me for a lot of reasons. I mean, normally, even if we were at St. Vincent College, tomorrow would be a big day. First day in pads. I'm sure we'll see some backs on backers, something like that pretty early on. Mike Tomlin likes to get the competitive juices flowing with the competitive periods, but there was none of that last year. There were no fans at training camp. There were no fans virtually at games. There were no preseason games. And so, I think that one of the things that Mike Tomlin talked about was, getting the excitement and the energy level up. First of all, for things that happen in Heinz Field, because this is where the games that count will be played, and also, to get the fans juiced up a little bit, because, as we were just talking about, it's been virtually a calendar year since, fans have been able to be exposed to this team in a way that they're normally used to being exposed to it. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how things unfold, and I think that it's going to be quite a show tomorrow. I just do.
And as Coach Tomlin said, it will be like the first day of school, and even said they purposely waited to transition from the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex on the south side to here at Heinz Field to signify the ramp-up period, which all 32 NFL teams have to go through per the CBA. That's over. Now, the real stuff happens here, and as you said, that will take place on Wednesday when the pads go on. Also, did want to note, Coach Tomlin said that there are some guys dealing with injuries, nothing significant. He did indicate that today he gave Ben Roethlisberger a personal day. He was excused from practice and said Ben will be back here on Wednesday. So good news for Steelers fans, because typically if Ben would have followed his progression of full day, half day, no day, Ben wouldn't have practiced tomorrow. So
yeah, and I don't know this for sure. I mean, this is just me kind of trying to get into the spirit of the theme of creating excitement for tomorrow, the first day of pads, and having the first day of fans in the stadium. But maybe that was part of the plan too. Give the people the full Ben Roethlisberger, so to speak. And again, like I said, I think he will be juiced for it. I think his teammates will be. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere. I think it's going to be fun.
All right, we have some fan questions that we want to get to that were submitted via Twitter. We know Labs loves asked and answered, so we got him some more as well to go for here. We'll get to those in just a second. All right, Labs, first one. What is the current situation at the center position? This is from Steelberg.
Well, again, tomorrow is the first day in pads, and one of the things that Mike Tomlin did say, I wrote it down here, players start to reveal themselves when you start to add more elements of real football, which hitting definitely is. And so I think that things will start to crystallize not only at the center position, but at some of the others. And so, I think that there are some candidates. I believe that if you're going to ask me what I think their preference is, I would say that the job will come down between J.C. Hassenauer and Kendrick Green, and I think that they would like to have B.J. Finney as a backup at several positions. When you're looking at the most efficient use of the personnel, and you only have so many people with helmets on game day, having a guy like B.J. Finney who can fill in at all three interior offensive line positions, that makes him extremely valuable game day addition on the roster. And so, but if he turns out to be the best option at center, then he will start there. But as I said, if you're looking at how I believe they would prefer things to turn out, I think they would like to see either J.C. Hassenauer or Kendrick Green make the position his own. And me personally, I'm anxious to see the rookie.
All right, and you'll get a chance to see him start at center in the Hall of Fame game. Let's go to our next fan question submitted using hashtag Steelers Live. We'll do this all throughout training camp. This one, Labs, we're hearing a good bit about Najee, but what about the other rookies, How have they been?
I got to jump on the Pat Freiermuth bandwagon along with everyone else. I mean, this is a guy who has just really, in my mind, I won't say taken this part of the training camp by storm or anything, but he seems to do something that's noticeable, something that catches your eye every day. Now, you know that is actually happening because Mike Tomlin usually takes a special interest in playing the wet blanket this early in the process for a rookie. And, Kevin Colbert, in his media availability earlier today, he did mention that Mike Tomlin loves to watch the tight ends, and every time Pat Freiermuth makes a great catch, the coach yells at him, "Yeah, but can you block?" And so I'm sure that if there are backs on backers tomorrow, Freiermuth will get some repetitions. And then I'm also going to be interested to see how they do when it's tight ends against linebackers in that version of backs on backers too. That they do some blocking, they do some coverage. And so this is a guy who seems to me to be a really good two-way tight end so far. And I think he's going to see a lot of playing time this season.
All right, we have time for just one more fan question, so we'll get right to that from Linda. Do you think Highsmith or Ingram will start opposite of TJ Watt?
Again, I'm going to answer this based on what I believe the Steelers' preference would be. I think they like Alex Highsmith enough that they don't want to retard his growth and development by burying him on the bench. But I also understand that Melvin Ingram III is a legitimate NFL outside linebacker. The guy can play either side. He's good in coverage. He's good pressuring the passer. He's made the Pro Bowl. So, again, I'm going to defer to, and I know it's kind of a cop-out, but I'm going to defer to, what Mike Tomlin kind of said earlier. Putting the pads on are going to reveal these guys. And, I like what Alex Highsmith did as a rookie. I think if he makes the Mike Tomlin's expected jump that he looks for in all second-year players, I think Highsmith has a bright future with this team. Ingram is only here on a one-year contract. I would start Alex Highsmith. Again, we're talking now, but tomorrow I might have a different feeling about it once we see them hitting a little bit.
Yeah, I love what Coach Tomlin said on Sunday Labs about when the pads go on. Usually some guys disappear when you put the pads on. The level of physicality gets too much for some, and that's usually the end of the discussion. So looking forward to tomorrow, and we will see who makes it, who doesn't. And of course, we have a long time to go until the end of training camp where a lot of jobs will be sorted out. So thanks for joining me, Labs, and thanks to everyone watching from home. We'll see you guys tomorrow when the pads go on.